So get this. What if I told you that one of the most detailed, in-depth history books ever written, we're talking a whopping 800 pages of lore, is about a country that doesn't even exist? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into this absolutely fascinating piece of world building that comes from a source you would never, ever expect. Let's just start with this one little detail, totally out of context. Atropians do not value punctuality. It's so weirdly specific, isn't it? It sounds like a tip you'd read in a travel guide before visiting a new place, but it immediately makes you wonder, exactly, who are these people who apparently couldn't care less if you're on time for a meeting? And maybe more to the point, why did someone feel the need to write that down? Well, trust me, the answer is way more interesting than you're thinking. Turns out, the Atropians aren't the only ones in this story. They've got neighbors, and let's just say their relationship is, well, it's complicated. To figure out who these Atropians are, we have to look at their world. So let's meet the two big players here, Atropia and Gorgas. And there it is, the big reveal. Neither of these places is real, and Topia and Gorgadas are completely made up, cooked up from scratch by the United States Army. They exist for one reason and one reason only, to be the setting for some of the most complex military training exercises on the planet. So check out how they set this up. You've got Atropia, this nation with its own distinct culture and politics, and then bam, right next door is Gorgas. By doing this, they've instantly created this incredibly complex regional dynamic. It's full of potential conflict, shaky alliances, the perfect little sandbox for practicing how to handle real-world problems. But this is so much more than just a couple of names on a map. The level of detail that went into creating these fake countries is, frankly, mind-boggling. And it all starts with this one massive document. No, that is not a typo. 800 pages. That's a document longer than a lot of real history books. And it's all about the history, the culture, the economy, and the politics of places you will never, ever be able to visit. We're talking about world building on a truly epic scale. And this incredible document isn't just some informal guide someone wrote on the side. Nope. It's a formal part of something the U.S. Army calls the Date World Operating Environment. Think of it as the official, standardized playbook for creating realistic and consistent training simulations. And this just shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes. This lore covers absolutely everything. You've got the small-scale cultural stuff, like our punctuality example. Then you've got the big-picture geopolitical tensions between Atropia and Gorgas. It details their entire economic systems, who the political leaders are, what factions they're fighting with, even down to everyday social customs. It's all in there. Okay, so we've covered the what, an insanely detailed fictional world built from the ground up. And that brings us, of course, to the biggest question of all. Why? Why go to all this trouble? What is the point of all this fiction? I mean, really, think about it. Why would you spend all that time and energy writing an 800-page history book for a place that's not even real? What's the strategic goal of creating a fake world that is in some ways just as complicated as the real one? Well, the answer is all about getting ready for the messy, gray, complicated reality of the modern world. See, it's one thing to train how to shoot, but it's a whole other thing to train how to navigate a tense meeting with a village elder. So first, this lore makes soldiers deal with tricky cultural stuff, like knowing being late isn't an insult in Atropia. Second, it lets them practice dealing with political tensions that you just can't solve with a weapon. Third, it's a test of non-combat choices. How do you get what you need when you're facing a local leader who just plain doesn't trust you? And finally, maybe the biggest one, it gets them ready for those murky situations where there's no clear right answer. So here's the bottom line. This isn't about playing a game. It is about deeply preparing soldiers for the human side of things, the political landscape of a real conflict zone. It's about understanding that the people, their culture, and their politics are just as much a part of the battlefield as any hill or river. And this whole thing, this amazing exercise in make-believe, it's not just some military curiosity. It actually teaches us something profound about how we should think about the real world. So what's the big takeaway here? And this is it right here. This is the heart of the matter. The fact that Atropia and its 800-page history even exist is a powerful statement. It's basically the military admitting that in today's world, the most important weapon might not be a jet or a tank, but a real, nuanced understanding of people and their culture. Success isn't just about winning the fight. It's about building a lasting peace. And you can't do that if you don't know who you're dealing with. I mean, This quote just says it all, doesn't it? In this bizarrely fascinating project, the story of a completely imaginary front line is being used to teach some of the most practical and important lessons a soldier can learn today. The fiction is all in service of a very real purpose. So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. What does it tell us about the world we live in, about the nature of conflict today, when the best way to get ready for reality is to build a fiction that is even more complex, more detailed, and more nuanced to practice in? It's a pretty wild thought, and it says a whole lot about the challenges of our time.